Hi everyone, this is Jay. Welcome to my video. Today we're going to go through the difference and why it is very important to understand the sandwich and the empty bowl. You know, when you create a sandwich, you have one piece of bread, a conventional general sandwich, not the fancy ones, yeah? Not those open sandwiches, not croissants and ciabattas and these, that. Just the conventional one slice of bread, another slice of bread, maybe a piece of cheese in between, there. And you also want to think about the more crisp and delicious after the sandwich is nice and flattened and toasted out. So imagine one of those really thin slices, they call them cheese slices. Two pieces of bread, the cheese in between, and really crisp and sharp, a sandwich. And then you also want to think about an empty bowl, a clean, very deep empty bowl, fully empty and nice and scooped. So before we begin, I'm going to separate my feet hip-width apart, and I would actually like to use my mat to assist me. So to stay in frame, I'm going to fold my mat lightly, and I'm going to place my heels to be lined up with the more, not the pattern part, but the plain colored part of my mat right there. So I have my heels lined up with each other. Once I have my heels lined up with each other and I've arranged my feet and my legs to be hip-width apart, I'm going to scoop my buttocks closer to my heels, followed by scooping my belly and then lowering down one vertebra at a time, comfortably adjusting the back of my neck, the back of my skull, followed by scooting my buttock, not moving the feet by the way, just scooting my buttock to get that comfortable distance between my sitting bones and my heels. Ideally, the longest tip of your finger, not the fingernail, the fingertips, the middle finger, with the shoulders smiling and spreading apart, and you place the hands by the side and you reach your arms long. The back of the heel can be lightly tickled with the skin tip of your fingertips, especially the longest finger. And this differs for those that need a little bit more comfort to the hamstrings. You may place your buttock slightly further away, yeah? Okay. Then from there, neutral pelvis. So you have your pubic bone to be on the same height as your hip bones. And once you've arranged your neutral pelvis, take a moment to check as well that you have neutral spine with your rib tip connection. So if you were to arrange your neutral pelvis and engage your rib tip connection, wrapping your ribs towards the midline, like you're wearing a nice lace front corset, you will naturally be able to get that neutral spine. It's roughly about 4 fingertip space, fingertips, not the whole hand, just the fingertips, between the lowest part of the arch of the back and the surface of the mat. Okay, here we go. I'm going to arrange safely so that my chin is about a fist distance away from the middle of my collarbones. Breathing into the nose. My arms are going to move freely. Breathing out through my mouth. I scoop my belly, making a letter C, creating that empty bowl. You see that? So it's all the contraction and the flexion of the abdominal area. When you contract your abs, your buttocks will automatically lift slightly. However, it's like floating, so you're not forcefully lifting your butt up. I'm going to release back into neutral spine. I repeat again. Inhale through the nose. I'm just double checking the distance between my chin and my collarbones. Exhale through the mouth. Scoop the belly. When you scoop the belly, creating that empty bowl, the flexion of the abdominals is attempting to close the gap between the hip bone and the rib cage right there. Especially the outer tips of your floating ribs, really pulling it towards the hip bones. And the buttocks will automatically sort of float off, yeah? And release back neutral spine. We're going to do that one more time. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth, and get that empty bowl. and release. So from there, that exercise can be further activated with the awareness in the back of the buttocks and the hamstrings. However, once again, we're not lifting the pelvis off. We're just posterior tilting the pelvic floor. The highest part of the bum, the lowest part of the lower back, the sacrum, is still connected to the mat. Here we go, breathing into the nose, breathing out through the mouth, scooping the belly. So I'm still massaging the back of the sacrum into the mat. Second inhale, I tighten my butt crease to further bite into the back of the hamstring, deepening the C-curl, but not lifting the pelvis off the ground. Exhale, I punch, scoop my belly deeper without affecting my upper body. So I'm not curling my upper body in. Release that neutral spine. So everything is happening from underneath the boob line, underneath the breast line, all the way towards the lowest part of your abdominals, highest part of your thigh, like you're wearing boy short underwear. Yeah? Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Scoop the belly. Get that empty ball. Second inhale, deepen it. Tighten the butt crease into the back of the legs. Deepen it at the lower abdominals. Exhale, pull the belly, deepen it even more in the middle, upper and lower abdominals. Release back neutral spine. Once again, I'm not lifting my buttocks off. I'm just posterior tilting my bum and really engaging the awakening of the empty ball. One last time. Inhale through the nose. My arms are moving freely. You're more than welcome to just let your arms rest by the side. Exhale out through the mouth. Scoop the belly. Second inhale. Now I'm going to add extra. Exhale. After scooping the belly in, imagine like a very strong vacuum cleaner, sucking it in. Feel even the inner thigh muscles sucked into the groin and release back neutral spine. So that's a little gentle exercise. Awakening the abdominal tract, awakening the hamstrings, the glutes, while maintaining stability in the sacrum, the pelvic floor, as well as the shoulder girdle. The two knobs of the shoulder heads until the crown of the head. You want to feel that the crown of the head, there's one point over here, the two shoulders like a triangle, firmly pressing down, yeah? Firmly. Take an inhale through the nose. Now I'm going to go deeper. Exhale out through the mouth. Create that empty bowl, scoop the belly. Maintain the empty bowl, maintain it. Now lift the bum, maintain the empty bowl. Keep the ribs down, keep the ribs down. Lift the bum, lift the lower back, lift the middle back. You want to grab that straight line from the armpit to the back knee, knee to the shoulder, shoulder heads to the knobs of the knee. This is the sandwich I'm talking about. Second inhale, maintain melting in the ribs. Tighten the clenches of your butt crease right there like you're holding pencils. One pencil in the left buttock, one pencil in the right buttock. Exhale, flatten the belly and the butt towards each other like a sandwich, and then change back into an empty bowl, lowering down the middle back, lowering down the lower back, the sacrum, and then releasing the tailbone to return back into neutral spine. So these are the details you want to really engage in your body to get a super stable and a very efficient Pilates bridge. Other instructors might call it bottom lift. Doesn't matter, as long as you get the exercise done safely and correctly. Different schools of Pilates, they're going to call it something different, yeah? Breathe in through the nose. Now, I'm going to do this by ideally chin a fist distance away from the middle of the collarbones. Ideally, for the safety purpose, arms relaxed by the side. Breathe in through the nose. I'm no longer going to move my arms. Breathe out through the mouth. Scoop the belly. Get the empty ball. Keep the empty ball. Ribs down, bump up. Ribs down, bump up. Ribs down, bump up. Until you feel the full engagement of the upper butt crease and maintain the ribs down. Yeah. So the breast is not collapsing towards the chin. Second inhale. Tighten the butt crease into the back of the legs. Second exhale. Feel the belly and the front ribs melting down as the buttocks and the hamstrings lift to tighten up, and then scoop the belly lower down, one spinal vertebra at a time. So imagine one slice of bread is from your underboob towards your pubis, And the second piece of bread is from your butt all the way towards the back of your knees. Can we do this exercise together 4 times? There's an option for the arms. Ideally, the whole shoulder girdle, neck and hip placement, like a triangle, like a tripod, is really steady, just at the shoulder heads and a point there at the back of the skull, upon the crown of the head. Imagine that there's a 3 point, but we're leaning into the back of the skull, of course not leaning into the head like a headstand, the back of the skull. Chin is safely a fist distance away from the middle of the collarbones, 4 corners of the neck long. So ideally, the shoulder girdle is so stable that I can even place my arms in first position, like I'm wrapping my arms into a huge ball, like a beach ball. Now let's watch it here. Breathing in, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, scoop the belly, keep the ribs down, lift. Second inhale, sharpen the bridge. Second exhale, deepen and sharpen the bridge. Scoop the belly, lower down one spinal vertebra at a time. What do I mean by sharpen? Sharpen and deepen. I'll go into more details in a bit. If you need more support, you can widen the tripod, the triangular structure between the back of the skull's point, the crown of the head, like a little dot there, and you can widen the arms minimum 20 degrees, maximum about 45 degrees away from the side body. So you can really press the back of the shoulders down to avoid the shoulders from potato chipping up. Yeah, so here's another one, double checking the chin again, breathing in, breathing out, scoop the belly into an empty ball, and then keep the scoop of the belly, as you lift. Keep the scoop of the belly, even though it no longer looks like a scoop of the belly, correct? Now this is what I mean. When you sharpen the bridge, keep the ribs melting down, so you're encouraging the under boob away from the chin. Tighten the clenches of the back of the butt crease. Sharpen and deepen. So when you sharpen even more, stretch your in and outer knees equally away from your shoulders and armpits. Deepen. Flatten the ribs and the belly downwards. Buttocks and hamstrings upwards. And then scoop the belly lower down. That's how you get the full effect of really going nice and controlled in your Pilates movements to get and reap the best rewards from your Pilates practice. So now, can we do those 4 times together? Hands by the side body. Arms can be relaxed, or maybe you'd like to go into the challenge of placing your arms into first position. I'm going to do 1 time, arms flat. 2 times, palms open. 1 time, arm in first position. Breathing into the nose. I'm going to double check my chin placement again to make sure that my neck and my hip placement is nice and safe. Remember, it's about the size of a tennis ball, your fist. Breathing in. Breathing out. Scoop the belly, get that empty ball. Maintain the empty ball, lift up to create that delicious thinness sandwich. Second inhale to sharpen. Second exhale, deepen, sharpen, lower down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop the belly, flex the abdominals, keep the shoulders wide, lift the bum, lower back and middle back. Second inhale is to sharpen. Second exhale is to deepen and sharpen. Stretch your in and out knees equally away from the shoulders. Scoop to lower down. Imagine someone you trust is going to do a handstand on your knees. So make sure your knees are nice and steady, pointing, facing straight up. Your knees are neither collapsing in nor collapsing out, yeah? Breathing in and out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop the belly. Lift the bum, lower back and the middle back. Second inhale, sharpen. Second exhale, deepen and sharpen. Feel the glutes, lower down. You will also feel it in your hamstring, especially for those of you who need to work on the strength of awakening those muscles in the back legs, yeah? Breathing into the nose. This is the final one. I'm going to do this in first position in the arms. Exhale, arch them up, scoop the belly. While I'm lifting my bum, lower back and middle back, my arms are not only shaped like this, but they're imagining they're really hugging into the beach ball, truly hugging into the beach ball, so no one can steal it away. Inhale through the nose, exhale, and then lower down. One spinal vertebra at a time, releasing the arms. I'm going to raise my right leg into tabletop. 90 degrees in the knee, 90 degrees between the lowest part of my belly and the highest part of my thigh. Followed by my left leg into double tabletop. And I'm going to gently use my feet to lay out my mat again. Both feet, then feet together, legs together, knees into the chest. Some of us may need to roll to one side to come up. Feel free to do that, like you're about to take a nap on the side. And for those who can, rock and roll, sit back up like a rocking chair. So there you have it, the explanation on sandwich and empty ball for your Pilates bridge. Again, different schools of thought, they call the exercise a different name. However, it's the same exercise, same benefits, especially if you do it with control. You want to remember, you want to control, you want to concentrate, and you want to coordinate. Control is the first one, and then you learn to concentrate on the movements. And then when the time comes, you will really coordinate it very well with your breath. Initially, just breathe in and out. Oh, there we go. That's done. Thank you for watching.